Hi, my beautiful friends. My name is Akosia. If you're seeing me for the very first time, this is the Bed with Ben Hiney podcast. On here, what we do is talk about self development, just anything that's going to help you grow and become a better version of yourself. So, if you're seeing me for the very first time, again, you're welcome. Okay. Obviously, today we have a different vibe going on. Okay. It's giving proper podcast, it's giving proper podcasty. Before I get into the topic, I want you to comment below and let me know how you like the sound. Okay, are we feeling the sound? Just let me know. Just comment below and let me know. Okay, just a quick little comment. On today's episode, I want to talk about how to find yourself again after having kids. Okay, because as a mom, this topic is so relatable to me. Losing yourself after having kids is one very easy thing. I feel like it's one thing that a lot of mothers will relate to, because after you have kids, you're most likely going to be a different person from who you were before, and you need to accept that. You need to find yourself again. You need to sort of get back into who you were, get back into the things that you liked before. You just basically need to sort of build an identity that's going to go with the mother you now. And in the process, I don't want you to lose yourself. And that's why I'm doing this episode. In the process, I want you to still be able to find yourself. I want you to still be able to touch base with yourself, okay? I want you to still be in tune with the woman that you were before you started having kids. Because before anything, I know that if you have kids, everything changes. Okay, identity shift, like the whole 9 yards, it just goes out the door. At least for me, that's kind of like what it felt like. It felt like I had to find myself again. It felt like I had to reintroduce myself to myself and find a way to pair the new life that I had with the girl that I was, So one thing that I know that very easily happens, like I was saying, is that identity shift. Okay, just feeling like you're a total different person. And it's easy to feel that identity shift because you legit become a different person. Your entire body changes. Like, you look in the mirror and it's not the woman that you went into that hospital with. Like, everything is changing. And not just your body, but if you're a woman, you can relate. Like, if you had kids, you can relate. Like, you legit feel your insides are different. Your menstrual cycle is different. The way you feel in general becomes different. It just sort of shifts you into this new person because now you have new responsibilities. Now you have this new outlook on life with this little person in hand. So identity shift is one very big thing that very easily happens after you have kids, okay? And that's one thing that can make you feel a little off, a little confused, I would say, because you're like, well, what is happening here? Like, I am so new to this, everything. And that's the truth though, because everything is new to you, especially if you're a first time mom. I'm two-time, I have two kids, so I'm talking from a place of experience. I've gone through this twice. I've had to find myself 2 times. So I'm talking from a place of having to do this over and over again. So when I say identity shift, I know what I'm talking about because it happened to me, girl. Even before I had my first baby, right? I cut off all my friends. Just the pregnancy alone, I cut off all my friends. I didn't want to talk to any friend of mine. I don't know. It was just, I didn't know what was going on because also my mom was not in the picture. So a lot of things I had to figure out by myself. A lot of things I had to like try to find out what was going on and how I was going to navigate life going forward. And even though I had my partner, still for me, I was like, oh, as a woman, I feel like a lot of the change falls on you. A lot of the, shift happens in your life. And I'm not saying that men don't exactly feel it, but I'm not a man, so I can't really say for them. I can say for what we feel as women. So I cut off all my friends, and then after I had kids, I was now starting to go back into the friendship pool. And you guys have heard me talk about this before. It's now that I'm even more comfortable opening myself up to people again and trusting people and allowing people into my space. And that's all because I went through that motherhood journey. Motherhood changed me. And when someone says motherhood changed them, or when someone says motherhood can change you, it is absolutely true because it will change you. My oldest is 7. She's going on 7 this year. And then my little one is going on 4. I am only now feeling like myself again. I'm only now feeling like going back to the things that I used to really, really like, proper touching base with myself. It's only now that I feel like that. Now I feel very more authentic to the Akusia that I used to be before I had kids. And it does take a while for you to even get there. It does take a while for you to even get out of those like motherhood blues, that blues that makes you feel like you have to sacrifice everything for the journey. There's one thing that I say every time, and I will not stop saying it. I am not going to lose myself to motherhood. I knew this even before I started having kids. And I did lose myself before. Like, I did lose myself at a point when the kids started coming into the picture. I lost myself, trying to figure out the whole journey, trying to figure out how I was even going to be this Akosia whilst being a mom. I thought it wasn't possible to still be the Akosia that loves doing all the things that I do, loves looking extra fly, loves my makeup, while still impacting my kids, while still being present in my kids' life. A huge part of me thought I would have to sacrifice all the things that I loved for the journey. A huge part of me thought, well, now that I'm a mom, like, who cares again? I might as well just sacrifice and just sit at home and not even do anything. Like, I have 2 kids, I'm tired. Let me just spend my time taking care of the kids and just be a housewife and keep it kicking. And then another part of me said, girl, what are you talking about? Like, you're really about to lose yourself just because you had 2 kids and you have 2 girls. How do you think they're going to look up to you? How do you think they are going to grow and even take any advice that you give them, because you lost yourself to the process? You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was very, very important to not lose myself. So when I started losing myself, I was literally losing my mind. Because I'm not gonna lie, motherhood is a very tasking job. People don't really talk about it so much because it's meant to be a rewarding thing. You have a baby. Babies are blessings. Human beings are blessings. They are such a delight to the world. Like, when you look at your child smile, it just brings you so much joy. But the work that comes with being a mother, I am not even going to sugarcoat it. It takes a village. I need the aunties, I need the sisters, I need the uncles, because it takes everybody to grow that child. It takes everybody to not wear you out. It takes everybody around you for you to not lose yourself to the process. I know I'm very passionate about the topic because, one, I'm a mom and I'm a millennial mom. I'm a young mom. So being a young mom also comes with, pairing your goals, your life aspirations, and all of that stuff with the journey that you're on. I like this wave of mothers that we have, because I see a lot of moms right now who are killing it, who are go-getters, and I'm like, that's exactly the energy we want in the world. That's exactly the type of women that I want to see. That's exactly the type of women that I want to be around, because don't let anybody make you feel like being a mom is reason for you to lose yourself. So I'm going to give you a few tips on how to just get back to base, okay? Just how to find yourself again after you've had kids. Now, the first thing that I can say is you need to give yourself some grace, okay? Because again, having kids is meant to be a blessing. It is absolutely a blessing. It's not like it's meant to be a blessing. Let me take that back and say it well. Having kids is an absolute blessing. There is a beautiful, beautiful side to that journey, besides the fact that, it makes you tired or it takes a lot out of your plate on a normal day and whatnot. But in its entirety, you need to give yourself some grace because you're new to this. It doesn't matter how long ago you feel like you've lost yourself for. You can always come back to finding yourself. You can always touch base with yourself. It doesn't matter how many years have gone by. So give yourself grace. Give yourself a pat on the back. Pour yourself a glass of wine if you need to, because you've done an amazing job, okay? First of all, you have done an amazing job giving birth to these kids, taking care of these kids every day, pouring into their lives, being the most absolutely best mother that you could ever be. You need to give yourself grace for the fact that the journey that you're on right now as a mother is not an easy journey, but you're killing it. So give yourself grace for that, okay? And then the next point that I can give you is scheduling some me time. I cannot emphasize how important it is to spend some time with you. Spend some time doing things that you love to do. Things that are besides the motherhood or the relationship that you have. And I think that you should go back to check another episode that I did talking about how to maintain your individuality while still in a relationship, because this definitely ties back into that. When you become a mom, you need to have time where you're doing things for just you and not doing things with your kids, because it can very much feel like, oh, I always want to do things with my kids. And I know I hear a lot of mothers say that. And as much as you think it sounds cute, you can never pour from an empty cup, okay? You can never pour into these kids if you haven't exactly poured into yourself. If you can never be the best type of mother that you want to be if you're low, if you're stressed, if you're not well taken care of. You need to have time for just you. That could be you scheduling some nail time to do your nails, to do your hair, some self care Sunday situation, buying yourself a bottle of wine when the kids are in school, just anything that makes you feel like this is just me spending time with me. This is just me trying to connect with me and trying to do things that only I like to do. And it's not even selfish. And I need to say that because I know as a mom, let me tell you, sometimes when you're doing things alone, it can feel very much like that. It can feel like, well, why am I doing these without my kids? Like now that I have kids, I need to be able to do everything with my kids. I know it can feel like that because I feel like that too. I feel the mom guilt. I think that's what they call it, the mom guilt of not having your kids around, of traveling without your kids, of doing just activities that only you would like to do. That's what they call it. They call it the mom guilt. But trust me, if you don't pour into yourself, you cannot pour into these kids. You cannot pour from a good place. You could probably still pour into them because you're a mom and you have no option than to be around for them. But you might not give them your best. You might be stressed every single time when you go out to take care of the kids. Every single thing about the job will stress you. Whereas when you take care of yourself, you can always come back and give them the best version of you. You can always come back and be yippee yappy mommy because mommy is happy. Mommy had a little self-care time and mommy feels rejuvenated. Mommy feels good enough to spend time with you guys, okay? And that's gonna take me to my next point, which is gonna be asking for help from others, okay? Because as much as this doesn't directly affect you coming back to yourself after having kids, having help helps you to spend time with yourself, okay? So when I say it takes a village, that's what I mean. It takes a village to take care of the kids. It takes a village to not be stressed out. It takes a village to be able to have time to pour into yourself and come back and take care of the kids. And not everybody might have that luxury. And I have been in that situation where moving to America made me realize that, oh, child, it only takes a village. Ooh, I miss my Ghana family because they would take care of my child without question. We're brought up in a way that having kids is literally for the community. It's like everybody in the community is going to take care of your kids, whether you like it or not, because that's how we know how to do it. But America is not structured that way. And if you have family, that's usually the best. So I'm going to say that if you have people around you who are willing to help, if you have people around you who you trust that can help you with the job, and it's not like you're leaving your responsibility on people, it's just you knowing that sometimes it's okay to accept help from people. Sometimes it's okay to allow people to pour into, you a little. Give the kids to your sister for one night and go to dinner by yourself. Go out with your friends, go for brunch, go for breakfast, just go for a run with a friend. Just have 30, 40 minutes to yourself and then come back and come and be a mom again. The job is not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. The kids are still going to be there. So I would definitely say that ask for help from others because it definitely gives you time to be able to spend time with yourself. It gives you time to be able to pour into yourself so that you can be the best type of mom that you can be, okay? So if you have the help readily available, just take it. That's all I can say. If you have the help readily available, please just go ahead and take that help, okay? And the next thing that I can say is you want to focus on your current appearance, okay? Like how you look right now. Because I said that after you have kids, your body changes, everything changes. If you're a woman, I don't have to say so much. So you need to sort of like come back into rediscovering your style. Come back into rediscovering that type of outfits that will make you look good again, because it makes a whole world of difference on how you will feel. Put more efforts into how you look in general. Don't let the job of being a mom make you feel like, oh, well, now because I'm a mom, I'm just gonna do my duku and put on some top and down and just be walking around. No, girl, no, ma'am. And another thing that I want to add to that is you want to also sort of dress for how you want to feel, okay? You do definitely want to dress for how you want to feel. So if you're a mom and you want to wake up feeling like a fabulous mom, my little tip to you, wake up a little early than your kids. That's always such an important thing. I have found that it gives you so much time to, do your morning routine, get dressed in the morning, put on some perfume. You can do a quick little 5 minutes makeup even before the kids wake up. So when the kids wake up, you feel like you've poured into yourself. That's what I've been doing for the past like 3 years. Like if you follow me on Instagram and even if you watch some of my vlogs, you know that one thing I'm gonna do is wake up early. Okay, one thing that's certainly gonna happen is that because I will wake up early. I will wake up at 5:30, get my workout done, take a good shower, put on some cute loungy outfit if that's how I feel like, put on some perfume, sit down, do my morning devotion, even before I go and start prepping daycare stuff. So, a good tip is always waking up before the kids so you can have that good morning me time, enough time to breathe, ease yourself into the day before you start being a mom. Technically, like you take a break from being a mom for an hour or two and then you go back into the activity. So, and then the next thing that I can talk about is going back to things that you used to love before having kids, like hobbies or anything that you used to do before having kids, okay? Pretty much every mother out there, they used to have like a lifestyle before they had kids, okay? Motherhood definitely changes your time, your attention, and just generally how you even play, if it makes sense. Like after I became a mom, I stopped playing so much because in my mind I'm like, I don't know if I have time to play. Like I said, I cut off all my friends because I'm like, this is serious business, like this is serious business. But I need you to reconnect with your old self. And when I say reconnect with your old self, it's not like you're trying to be the same person that you were before you had kids, because that's not going to happen. For the mere fact that you've grown, for the mere fact that you are a different person now, for the mere fact that now that you're a mom, it comes with different responsibilities and a different lifestyle in general. But there are still things that are true to you. There's still things that make you happy, make you smile. Mine, for me, that would be coloring. I don't know, it's such a childish thing, but I love coloring, and not just painting, but coloring book, like literally. So I have adult coloring books. Everybody that has worked with me before, they know that on my desk in my office, I would literally have like 3 4 different coloring books with color pencils, which I would be using on my leisure time or times where I'm not doing so much. So find hobbies that you used to love and try to go back to them, try to revisit them. If you feel like you want to find new hobbies, find new hobbies. Just find things that, make you feel like a child again, things that make you feel like very happy inwards, if it makes sense. And then my next point is you definitely want to set some new goals for yourself, okay? Like, for example, when I had kids, I didn't work all through for like a good 4 years. And then after, 4 or 5 years after having kids, I went back into corporate. I went back into trying to look for a job because I started feeling like, yeah, that's the Akosia that I know. And motherhood was shifting me away from that purpose. So I went back to look for a job, and a lot of times in the interview, what they would ask me was, so why is there this big gap in your resume? And the one answer that I could give them was, I paused to have kids. And that was so true because motherhood literally put a pause on my life. Like, not even in the bad way, it's just how I perceived it, how I chose to perceive motherhood. That's the angle that I was looking at motherhood from. I thought, well, how can I go back to working in corporates after having 2 kids? It's going to be so stressful, but it's not. Since then, I've worked with like 3 other companies and I am thriving in the corporate world. So you need to set some goals for yourself, okay? I want you to go back to the drawing board and ask yourself, well, why have I not been pushing to do anything because of motherhood? I want you to still, be that goal getter that you've always been, even after having kids, okay? So set some goals for yourself. That's very important. And then the last thing that I can talk about is trying something new, okay? Because essentially you're a new person right now as a mom, you have kids now. Your life is different now. Your circumstances might be different right now. So what I want you to do is try some new things, okay? Try new activities to try to find yourself again. Just open yourself up and try new things. Don't be so closed off to thinking that because you're a mom, you don't need to be doing certain things or hanging with certain people. Don't define yourself based on the fact that you're a mother. I don't want you to do that. I need you to step out of your comfort zone and get out of your head. That's what I'm going to tell you, because that's what I had to tell myself a lot last year. Get out of your head and just go out and try new things, because for me, motherhood leaves you at a stage of rediscovery. Like after having kids, you get to the stage where you're asking yourself, well, who am I right now? And how am I going to pair it with this new stuff that I have going on in my life? And when I say stuff, I mean the entire journey. Kids are beautiful, but they definitely bring that change in your life. And sometimes that can make you feel like you have to compromise. Sometimes that can make you feel like you're doing too much sacrifice for the journey. And it can be a beautiful journey. It can be beautiful sacrifices that you do if you do it right. That's the best way I can say. If you do it right, it will not stress you up so much, and it will not entirely change you. A change is something that you cannot do anything about because you're a mom. And so, yes, you have changed. You need to even start by accepting that, okay? Accept the fact that you are a mom now. So, yes, you have changed, but it doesn't mean that it has to change you entirely. It doesn't mean that it has to totally make you a new person from who you were before. So, I hope that these tips are able to help you, touch base and come back to yourself after having kids, because I know that it's tough sometimes, especially for us as women, to come back to ourselves after having kids, to just find ourselves again, find a spark again, find that it's-ness, the thing that makes you feel like a woman, because again, the body looks different. Girl, I know what I'm talking about. I'm talking out of experience. So this is a safe space. This is a safe space for us mothers. This is a safe space for you to feel comfortable and for you to know that I am here to cheer you on, and I'm here to want to see you be a better version of yourself whilst you're at this journey. So don't lose yourself to it. Don't let it get into your mind too much. And remember to always schedule that me time, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.
When they say she get it from her mama, I'ma say you fuck her right, her body